our next segment. I'm very excited about this. The segment is called So That Happened. This segment is all about something out there that happened and what we think about it in regards to some kind of event that happened in Magic. And the particular event that happened is the Mythical Invitation happened over the weekend of September 12th through 13th, or at least that's when it was scheduled. It was the first historic event as well as the first, professional event to happen during the pandemic. And it had one of the greatest top eights for Sunday ever. LSV and a lot of other big names in professional Magic were in this top eight, like a who's who.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of really
Yeah,
solid ones in that one.
yeah, exactly. And so on Sunday, that top eight was supposed to compete. Well, let's just say the stream had some problems. In addition to having low stream quality and people describing it as basically being streamed out of somebody's basement, not my words, other people's words in the community, a sexy singles advertisement popped up during the broadcast, and other various kinds of problems happened until finally Wizards just said, nope, no stream, we'll do it later. And and the following morning, that is when they continued the top eight. Now, here's the thing. What do you guys think? Do you normally watch Wizard streams, and does it matter what happened? Okay, these are the basic questions that I want to ask you guys. Mark, since you've been literally in this game since the very beginning, what do you think?
Well, back in my day, you kids today with your music, I'm just kidding. Anyway, when it comes to live streams, definitely watched a lot of these in the past. But I tend to be a little bit picky about what I watch. I kind of watched a lot of the championships type things. So I don't watch them all, but I mean I do watch them. And the reason why is the fact that I know generally all these videos get put on YouTube eventually, so I can always just watch it, whenever I want to. And then there's also the fact that some of these live streams are also they're in other countries, so it means it's like 4 a.m. Our time when they're playing Magic, and it's like whatever time it is at the country they're playing, or something of that realm. It's just always late at night if they're in some other country, especially like in England or in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's hard to watch those ones because of how late it is. But I do watch them. I do watch them sometimes. So there is a nice aspect of watching a live stream. It's fun. But the one thing that sometimes just is a little bit interesting and to me a little bit hard to watch sometimes personally is the commentary on these things.
Ooh, you sure this isn't your hot take?
No, hot take. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know that a lot of these events they have legends of the game who are doing these things, but this is no disrespect to them, but it's just like they'll have these in between matches conversations, and it's like they're trying to do their best impersonation of like a sports announcer like from the NFL or the other, and they're trying to mix that Magic world with this, and sometimes they just have conversations where they're talking about a certain player, or they'll recap the match, and they'll basically just kind of give you the information you already know. They're like, well, man, if he just could have played this, and like, well, yeah, of course he would have loved to play that, but he didn't play it because he didn't have it. It's like, it's or I've actually seen commentators where they'll try to give their before the match starts, they'll be cameras on the two guys, and they're like, well, what do you think is going to happen during this match? And I'm like, and I just want to slap that person. You go, nobody knows what's going to happen because it's Magic. It's I mean, you can probably try to guess at their strategy what they're going to do is, of course, but you try to guess what's going to happen in the match is like nobody knows. That's why we play this game. The weaker decks can sometimes beat the powerful decks. It depends on what you're drawing, what you're getting, and all that kind of stuff. So, in my opinion, sometimes the commentary can be a little bit a little bit boring in a sense. And other times there's some great commentary. I mean, there's been some people on there who actually have really interesting things to say, and I enjoy that part of the commentary. But then there's also a lot of times where it's just a little bit boring. And then when it comes to what happened with this whole thing, with the whole sexy singles, being put there. If I'm Wizards, I'm probably going, well, you know what? Some of these guys could actually use a woman. So I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. For all those guys who have girlfriends, I'm just messing around with it.
This man is just lighting fires everywhere.
Hey, maybe I should call myself, instead of the reanimator, just start saying AKA the fire starter.
Jeez, man.
It's just I mean, I'm just playing around. It's a joke. It just, it's but it's just that these things. I mean, for that to kind of happen though, on a stream though, is pretty like, you can go Wizards and go, really, guys, this is a Mythic Championship, and you're kind of letting this stuff happen. I mean, and what you were saying, Tony, from what they said, I guess the quality, like, remember, because I didn't see this, but from what they're saying, I guess the quality wasn't very good. It looked like it was running out of someone's, basement. That's terrible. Come on.
Yeah.
This is a Mythic Championship. This is no time to be skimping on the internet quality and the internet, and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, come on, Wizards. If you're gonna have an event like that, you gotta make sure it's running professionally. And I mean, I know we're all dealing with a pandemic here. I know that there's a lot of things going on. Maybe the staff is a little bit shorter than it normally is for those things, but they need to make sure they're running that stuff before it actually airs, and make sure they have everything put together. But just, I guess, when it comes to overall streams, I guess my overall opinion about it is that I will watch them sometimes if it's important enough, but it's okay for me to just watch it when it's on YouTube, and that way I can watch it at my own pace. If I miss something, I can rewind it. If I want to fast forward through some commentary, I can fast forward through some commentary. If there's certain matches that I want to watch, and there's certain matches I just don't really, it's like, okay, to me, there's nothing worse than watching some control deck play like a deck that's like a deck that's way beneath it, and just absolutely just stomping it. It's just no fun to watch. When you watch that poor player go, can I play this? Counterspell. Can I play this? Counterspell. All right, here's my big beefy dragon. I'm going to try to destroy that. Counterspell. It's just like, and I want to shoot myself. That's not a fun game of Magic I want to watch. I want to watch a game that's competitive, that has a lot of twists and turns. You don't know who's going to win, and it has two solid decks that are just going to be very complementary to each other in the sense that they're both strong, but you don't know who's going to win. That's how I like it.
All right, John, what is your opinion?
Well, I would like to start off and say this is the funniest thing what happened in 2020 as far as Magic goes.
Sexy singles, man.
I mean, that was the best advertisement shoot they have done. Whoever lined that up, congratulations.
Give that man a promotion.
I mean, but touching base on how the quality was, that's unacceptable. Come on. We're not even allowed to really play at LGS like that nowadays, and then they don't make sure the quality is up to par, at least 3060, 3060p, what I mean. But I think that, and just in regards of the actual pro players taking out their time to go to this event and then just get that representation is just unacceptable, to be honest. I can't stand behind that. They got to do better. We got to do better, Wizards. Hopefully we can put this behind you guys, and you guys bring premium quality content and everything's flawless. But this was definitely a flop in my opinion. But as far as like live stream and question, I would say me personally, it's not that big a deal to me personally because I'm more interested in EDH content or even playing EDH myself. So, I mean, they just need to do better, and that's the funniest thing I heard this week.
All right. So let me give you my perspective on this. Even though I'm more of a casual player, casual deck builder, limited player, EDH, throw some cards together, play a match kind of guy. I think that the professional side of Magic is very, very important. One, it gives people something to aspire to. Two, it allows people who are truly talented. Because let me tell you, this guy right here, not talented. That's why I'm the patron saint of garbage Magic players, guys. But it gives people who are truly talented in what I consider the greatest game on this planet Earth, the stage in which to show their prowess and their adaptability by adapting to all these different formats and showing us. They put in their time, their effort, and I think it's disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful to the pros. And I'm saying this because I love Magic, and no disrespect to all the people that are like working at Wizards to, in coverage, unlike some other people who have some problem with coverage. Jeez, man. They put in the time and the effort, and I know they're trying their best. But here's the thing. Wizards, you're a part of Hasbro. They have $11 billion. Like, look, if our podcast has technical difficulties, that's because we're basically three guys, hobbled in a closet trying to record, a podcast on 4-year technology. Like, it's kind of expected for, like our little situation to have technical difficulties. But you're an $11 billion company, or at least you're a part of an $11 billion company. You can afford to spend that money to make sure that the quality is there, and you should do that because these people that have dedicated their adult lives to being the best at this wonderful game that we all love deserve it. They honestly deserve to play in an environment that respects their time, that respects their effort, and respects their ability. And that's why I think it's unacceptable, with the caveat that this is coming from a place of love. This is because I love Magic. This is why I'm being hard on Wizards, is because you just need to do better. You need to show us that our professional players, our casual players, our occasional players, whatever, that you respect us and you value our time, you value our money, you value us. And especially our pro players. Man, like one of these days I hope to speak to LSV, one-on-one, or even just in a group setting or whatever. I well, I don't even know if I would talk. I'd just be like, you're so cool. And this is coming from somebody who's like has no desire to be a professional Magic player. I just respect the craft, and also he seems like a cool dude. So shout out to LSV and Limited Resources. Great podcast. You're probably already listening to it, so I don't need to like hype it up too much. But anyway, so that's my 2 cents on it. That like this is an important thing, and Wizards needs to do better, because we love you. We love you, Wizards. We love the game. We love the pro players, and we just want the best for the game. And especially if you're saying that you're one of the number one esports. You can't talk mad junk and not deliver. Like that's just not how it works. If you talk mad, you gotta bring the mad skills. Anyway, I think we'll close that segment and move on to another favorite segment of mine, Mechanics Minute, where we have two mechanics and we pick one to talk about. And then if you dear listeners want us to talk about the other one, leave a comment, demand it that we talk about the ones that we skip over. So our two mechanics that we have to choose from is well, look at this: cumulative upkeep or emblems. Guys, what mechanic would you like to talk about today?
I mean, we already touched base about the upkeep one. I mean, I'm down to talk about emblems, and let's get it out the way. Let's get it out the way. I feel like.
Oh, I mean, I feel like it might be a controversial subject, emblems, but Mark, if you're willing to dive deep into the controversy, we can do emblems.
Yeah, let's go.
You know what, Mark, you've been spearheading a lot of this. John, wade into it. Wade into that controversy. Tell me how you feel about emblems.
Emblems. The only thing in the game of Magic which you cannot interact with as an opponent, or as even the controller of the emblem.
Yeah, once it's there, it's there.
It's there, yeah. It's so lovely to have in your deck and work for you, but playing against it, it's very powerful, and it's meant to be that way, and I understand that. But I do feel like there's no interaction. Is there a possible way we can make some interaction, have a drawback or something? I feel like the more of older planeswalkers, like the Tamios, the Venser Ultimates, and Add Green, Super Friends, Atraxa is just, with that lovely enchantment with the doubling season and ulting as soon as you play your planeswalker is just gross. If you're piloting it, you're probably having the time of your life. But if you're playing against it, it's just so much oppression. Just I don't know. It's just, don't get me wrong.
I've scooped.
I mean, yeah, come on. Like, especially with the Venser or the Tamio, those are the two like prime emblem game. Let's just shuffle up. You got it kind of thing. It's so easily nowadays. They're giving so much proliferate cards and blue, and just getting more. It's just so much easy to achieve emblem ultimate versus it's sitting on the field. Yeah, there's that argument to the people who don't play doubling season and they do it the fair way, but at the same time, it's just, I would like to see some type of interaction with emblems. It would be nice, but are they actually going to do it? And I think they honestly shifted gears. Instead of having powerful emblems, they have powerful planeswalkers. Mark can tell you how I feel about this new Teferi. It's, I have some strong opinions about it, but I feel like that's the direction. It's kind of straying away from emblems so much and just making Teferi like planeswalkers. And if that's going to be the trend, I guess I'll be more okay with it, because now we're getting more cards what we can deal with planeswalkers a little bit better, in an easier sense. But I mean, doubling season and planeswalkers is just gross. Make sure you collect all the salt when you get your emblems and your Vensers, your Tamios, your all that fun stuff, and win games. But I don't think they should be banned or go away, but we need some interaction. But they're a blast to play with.
Okay, before we go to Mark, because we're going to go right over to Mark, I just want to say, last week's episode, Heartbeat Thief. We need more cards like that.
Shout out to the smoothest dancer in the planet. He's feeling everything. At the sound of a heartbeat.
Stealing our hearts and minds. Anyway, Mark, emblems. You were there since emblems were first a thing. What do you think about emblems?
Well, I think John, he talked a lot. I think he touched a lot on the obviously the most powerful ones. You got your Venser and your Tameo, and then of course your Narset is also another really powerful one. Basically says her emblem says that your opponents can't cast non-creature spells, which basically means how is anybody going to wipe the field of creatures if your creatures are better than your opponents? And it's just not going to probably happen unless you have a creature that says when it enters the battlefield. There are a few creatures that can do that, but there's not enough of them where you're probably going to have someone who's going to have that. So emblems like that just have such a huge effect on the game when they crack is pretty hard to deal with. Obviously, with Tameo basically giving you omniscience is utterly gross because we all know omniscience. We all know how powerful it is. It's very rare that I've ever seen someone resolve a Tameo with omniscience or have omniscience on the field and probably not win the game. I'd say it's almost never happened. It's like, I don't think the emblems have to go away, but I do think that we need some kind of way to, interact with them or do something, to the emblem or something that it's just, there's got to be some kind of answer for it. Whether they'll actually do it or not, that's completely up to Wizards. Can't really honestly say whether that'll ever happen or not. But yeah, it's definitely it's an interesting thing with Planeswalkers to get those. And what John was saying too about how with the new Venser, he doesn't have an ultimate per se, but he does have a minus ability that's pretty strong, and that is you take 2 extra turns.
And, you mean Teferi?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
Venser.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Teferi. My bad, peoples. Yeah, so Teferi, yeah, he, of course, we all know how, all Teferis are just generally pretty powerful. I don't think there's really a weak one, honestly, out there. There's weaker than others out there, but they're all pretty strong in their own rights. And the new one that basically says you can activate his ability on every person's turn is absolutely crazy. And then, of course, if you have some kind of ability, which I know there are out there, there's ways to basically, double the trigger of the Planeswalker. So you could potentially be doing it 2 times a turn.
Chain
So exactly, yeah, chain veil. So if you have some way to do it every 2 times a turn, and you cast him, if you're able to cast the Venser at some point in the game where the field is absolutely white and you have double triggers in a 4-player game, I believe you pass the turn and it comes back to you, you'll be able to ultimate, or sorry, not ultimate, but minus him to take 2 extra turns. And
you're killing me, man. You keep on saying Venser. You need to fairy.
I'm very. I think Venser's on my brain right now because of just how powerful he is.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
But
fair enough.
But yeah, so Teferi just doing what he does is just pretty crazy. But it could be a lot worse. Don't get me wrong, taking 2 extra turns is pretty strong. But he could have some crazy, ultimate ability that could be pretty gross. So we'll see what Wizards plans on doing, and there's some weaker emblems that have kind of come. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say weaker, but because I think all emblems are at least decently strong. But there's some ones that are obviously better than others, and I think the ones that they kind of came out with a new, I believe it was a new Gideon or something like that, or the new White Planeswalker. His emblem just wasn't really that, it's solid. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like, oh my god, when this goes off, we all lose the game. And
yeah,
that's why I kind of figure that I kind of hope that Wizards is kind of done with making those Planeswalkers that have those emblems that just pretty much just say, hey guys, this game's about to just be over here in a few seconds. Or they're even doing it for worse terms. Because I've honestly seen people ultimate that Narset that says you can't cast non-creature spells, and they're not even close to winning the game. And when they ultimate that in a commander game, and then you're say 6 turns after they ultimate that, and there's still nobody winning the game, they're slowly pinging you. Like, let's say they have like Talorand on the field, and they're pumping out little 2/2 flyers, and there's a 4-player, and there's still 3 people you have to kill, and they're only able to, and for some reason they just don't have a lot of draw in their hand right now, and they're just pinging you for a couple damage each turn, and we all don't have removal because we don't have flyers or something, and because we can't play any kind of spells, we can't kill these creatures. We're just sitting here taking everybody's taking 6 damage a turn until we pretty much all die. It's just like, who wants to sit through that? Because I know I don't. It's just, I'd rather just say, okay, you know what, GG, you got the game, just you win. Emblems is definitely a mixed bag for me. It's there's obviously a lot of emblems that are good for you that won't win you the game, but then there's some just absolute degenerate ones out there that'll just take you from absolutely losing to just winning the game in like that. And while I understand that happens in EDH anyway sometimes, but the way planeswalkers are supposed to kind of work is it's the way that there's so many mana doublers, or sorry, not mana doublers for planeswalkers and effects that do it. I feel it's just so much easier to get those ultimates off nowadays, and than there was back when planeswalkers first came out. So anyway, yeah, that's my take on it. I think they're good for the game, but I think Wizards needs to calm down on the oh my god, I win the game if this happens effects.
All right, that's good opinions. Good opinions. Mainly because I agree. I will say that there are some emblems that they don't win you the game, but they give you advantage. I like those kinds of emblems because emblems that just kind of win you the game, they feel, yes, like there should be cards in Magic the Gathering that just end a game because we need those kinds of effects for the health of the game. But but like you were saying, like there's this thing where you've won the game, but you haven't won the game, and that just is awful. But when you have somebody who, ultimates and has something that is strong, it's useful. I would like that thing. But it doesn't win you the game, then that's just so much better. An example, I think a really good example of this is Ren 6, a modern planeswalker. Its emblem is you get an emblem with instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard have retrace. Now, that gives you incredible advantage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, it is a 2-drop planeswalker, dear listeners, red and a green. And it's +1, return up to 1 target land from your graveyard to your hand, so fetch lands. -1, Ren 6 deals 1 damage to any target. And then it's -7, you get an emblem with instants and sorceries have retrace in your graveyard. And its starting loyalty is 3. So what I love about this planeswalker is that even though its emblem is incredibly strong, it will definitely help you win the game. It doesn't just end the game in all but reality, or
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you doubling season it's at 6. It doesn't get to ultimate right away. So I think that kind of style of emblem is really good. Another style of emblem that I really like is the interactable emblem without actually interacting directly with the emblem style that they've managed to accomplish every once in a while. The one that's popping into my mind right now is Gideon of the Trials. Its emblem is you get an emblem with, as long as you control a Gideon planeswalker, you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. That is a powerful effect, but it doesn't win you the game. It just prevents you from losing the game. And also you can interact with it by killing the Gideon. So you are interacting with the emblem in a way, because you can interact with another piece of the game that is required for it to function, which is another thing that I think is really, really cool way to do emblems. And just more planeswalkers that have ultimates that you can't do right away with doubling season, I think are great. Though I think that maybe having planeswalkers that are like that, but that add more than one loyalty counter might be able to like balance for the issue that you want flashy things to happen or whatever. But regardless, emblems I think are a cool part of the game. But like you guys said, like it would be neat to have interact. You know what? It just popped into my head. Okay, workshopping a card right here, right now. Something like the Golden Sun. No, what is it called?
The Immortal Sun.
The Immortal Sun.
Yep.
Okay, you know how when the Immortal Sun comes onto the battlefield, it turns off planeswalkers. It also allows you to draw a card, and it does another thing. What was it? It draws you an extra card. It turns off planeswalkers. I can look this up. This is
Doesn't it like give like neg one to opponent's creatures or something like that?
It's okay. Players can't activate planeswalkers' loyalty abilities.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card. Spells you cast cost one less to cast, and creatures you control get +1/+1. And it's a 6-drop. This Jesus Christ! I always forget how many things the Immortal Sun can do. Like seriously, such a good card. Anyway, what if we had an artifact that came onto the battlefield and just countered the effect of an emblem? Like any emblem effect that goes off gets countered while this card is on the field. So it's like a pacifism or, like a exile effect, in all but name. And that way you can interact with the emblem in this kind of roundabout way. Like, what do you guys think? What do you think of my idea?
No, yeah, that's definitely. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, there's Immortal Sun is just an amazing card. It has.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. It always does have more things on it than you really remember it has. For definitely for sure. I know every time I look at it, I just think to myself, man, okay. I mean, I remember it had this and this and this, but it has this and this too. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, this is a card that I completely forgot about. So it's I definitely I think I definitely agree with what you were saying about everything out there.
Okay, so Wizards, you didn't hear me say that, so that way you can design something like that.
Yes. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, we didn't say anything about
Right. Nothing at all. It's okay. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Exactly. Oh man. Okay. I feel like we haven't made any headway in emblems at all because they're just this thing where we have mixed feelings. I'm just gonna call it the official stance for our podcast, Crafty Brews, is mixed feelings.
There you go. Yep. Exactly. Facts.
All right, and I think with that, we'll move on to our next segment, Hot Takes. This is where we give the hottest of hot takes, 1 to 2 sentence with no context. And dear listeners, just know you can always request that we have an episode where we go a little bit deeper on these hot quests. You just have to let us know. But anyway, I think I'll give my hot take first. My hot take for this week is Black having enchantment removal is a good thing, people. It's good. It's good. Stop complaining. Black should be able to do this.
Hashtag facts. Hashtag facts.
All right, that's my hot take. John, what's your hot take?
My hot take is the box toppers for this newest set was underwhelming but overwhelming at the same time.
Oh, I don't even know how to feel about that. Like, I feel like those are fighting words.
Take it for what it is, bro. That's my hot take.
All right, Mark, hot take.
Well, I think I need to continue the trend of my fiery hot take from last time. and we're going to go a little bit in the opposite direction, and we're going to call this one, What Does He Not Do? And that is, we talked about how I said I think that Primeval Titan needs to be unbanned last time. Now we're going to talk about a card that I think needs to be banned in Commander. And that is, I'm going to say, Razaketh, the Foul-Blooded. I'm coming after you, son.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired at
That's
Razak.
You're going down. You're going down.
Mark says this as soon as I'm slotting in it back in my deck.
Hey. No, you don't. No, you don't. No shenanigans.
Oh, Lord. Well, dear listeners, if you like what we do here, please like, subscribe, share, ring that notification button or bell. Yeah, bing, and show your support. We greatly appreciate you, and with that, we're just gonna shout out some people. As always, I'm gonna shout out these two guys, these beautiful people that I get to talk with on a weekly basis about Magic the Gathering. I'd also like to again continue the trend. Shout out little Ginger, my little precious little puppy, and family and friends. And also shout out to you, the listeners. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. Keep it up. Mark, shout outs.
First off, shout out to you two great gentlemen. Love doing this right now. So second episode, and we're gonna keep going this strong. And hopefully, thanks to all you guys out there, we'll continue doing this. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. Again, shout out to my family and all my friends back in California. Once again, I've already, like I said in episode 1, I'm gonna try to do this every single episode because without him, we would not be here talking about at least Commander, for example. We still talk about Magic, that's fine, but Commander, a great shout out to, we all know him as the Godfather, Mr. Sheldon Menery, because without him, we would not be playing Commander.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign, and bless you, sir.
All right, Jonathan, close us out.
I like to give a shout out to these two wonderful guys where we get a kick back and talk about some Magic and, entertain you guys and bring some new thoughts and brews and together for you. And I just want to let you guys know that I do love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Always like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Did it better than I did.
But other than that, you guys stay beautiful, start slinging them spells, and run more Infect.
Oh, Joe! Whoa, an extra spicy hot take at the end. All right. All right. Have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Peace out.